the 24-hour day is a lie. Yeah, that's right. It's a lie. When you're starting your business out and you're a young entrepreneur, you're maybe not even young in age, but young as in early stages of your development, right? Your business is just growing. You're just getting into the motions. You're trying to figure things out. Ultimately, you are limited in the amount of hours that you've got, right? You're limited in the amount of hours that you've got because there is 24 hours in a day. There's 24 hours in a day. You've got to sleep. You've got to eat. You've got to ultimately, take care of your responsibilities, your family, whatever it is that's going on in your life. Even if you're a single guy, you've got things to do, bills to pay, whatever it is, there's always something to be done, right? So you can't exactly work 24 hours straight without at least taking a bathroom break, a break to get a snack, whatever. Now, I've known people, I myself have done it before, where I've sat at the keyboard and I've literally pounded away at the keys for 30 hours. It's insane. And at some point, your brain starts to get fuzzy, right? It's challenging. It really is. But even in those 30 hours, I took little breaks to go grab something to eat. I took little breaks to, help out Corey or Colton. One of my boys needed my attention for a moment. The reason I say the 24-hour day is a lie is because as a growing entrepreneur, as a budding business, as you see your business evolve and grow, you're no longer limited by that 24 hours. And the reason you're no longer limited by that 24 hours is because you begin to hire. You begin to outsource. You begin to no longer place all of the responsibility of your growing business upon yourself. You're no longer the one who has to do it all. Now, in the beginning, no matter what you're doing, right? In the beginning, you're doing okay, let's just take my business. When I was doing, when I got started and my uncle was doing reselling, right? He had his reselling business on eBay and he was making a living. He was making $60K, he was mirroring his wife's income and they taking care of their kids, their house, their everything, right? I mean, this was in the 90s and he was making $60K on eBay, right? Okay. In the beginning, he was acquiring all of his inventory. He was taking pictures, cleaning it up, getting it ready to ship, packaging it, listing it, selling it, answering emails, invoices, everything. He did everything from ground up all by himself. So did I. Okay, but at some point, he started to evolve and get way better at his job. He was making $60K in less hours in a day because he started being better at acquiring product and being better at knowing how to get good deals. And, he got good at it, right? And at some point he started outsourcing things to me. He's like, hey, you're growing your business, but while your business is growing and while you're in college, you need some extra cash and I need some extra hands. He's like, I got things I want to do with the boys because he had 3 boys. And he's like, I want to do stuff with my boys. He's like, if I let you do some of this stuff, I don't got to do all of it, right? So he paid me by the hour to do some of that stuff. Now here I am. Then I was growing my business, right? And I started, my boys, I didn't outsource much to my boys because my boys are young, but they did help me. They did help me because they got excited wanting to know what I was doing and they wanted to be a part. As most boys look at their mom and dad and they're just like, man, mom's doing this or dad's doing that. Isn't that cool? Like, can I help with your business? Can I do your job? That's what kids do. It's a really neat thing. It's your heart, man. It's so awesome when your kids get that way, right? So my boys helped me a lot with my business. And it was great. It was really great. And they helped me with my reselling business. And they helped me make packages and get labels, things like that, for shipping and stuff like that. Then as I've started, my channel, my business coaching and consulting and things like that, and my investment tips, they've begun investing. They both have their own stock portfolio, right? 8 and 9, they both already got their own stock portfolio. They invest in their money. They pay their tithes every time they make money. I mean, they are well-rounded, incredibly intelligent business dudes. They are. They're smart, and I love their input. I love it, and they have a creative fire and inspiration inside of them that they think of things that they're like, hey Dad, maybe we should make a video and do this, and maybe we should do that or do this. And so they got their channel, I got my channel, and they come up with a lot of ideas that we're going to put on their channel. A lot of that's just, hey Dad, I want to do this, and why aren't you videoing me? Absolutely. Pull my phone out. I got this, right? It's like that. That's how a lot of the videos come to be. I mean, there are times that I'm just like, I'm just a dad and I've got a smartphone in my pocket, so I'm going to video them. And so I'm videoing them, and it's like, oh yeah, we should put this on the channel. But there's other times when it's just their idea. They're just like, hey, let's do this, and you should video it. Hey Dad, can we go to the park so you can video me take off down this hill? Hey Dad, can we go do this, and you got to video it? It's like they got these ideas, and they get these ideas because they think they're fun, but they're also like, hey Dad, this is going to be so much fun, and it's going to get us a lot of subscribers. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So the thing is I'm not outsourcing out of necessity with my children. They're just a great part of my team. They are. They are the Bayless boys, and the Bayless boys is their channel, and they are doing such a great job. And it's just great to know that I've got them riding with me no matter what. Like, they've got my back, right? It's great. And they literally say prayers about our investments. They say prayers about my business. They come up with ideas. They're like, hey Dad, have you tried this, or have you tried that? Or, hey, would this be a good idea for merch? Or would this be a good idea for that? So it's like, I've got a great team with my boys. But I've also got some professionals, right? I've got my boy Russell, who actually used to manage my YouTube channels, but now he no longer manages my YouTube channels. He helps me with my TikTok. He helps me with my Facebook business page. And he also helps me with other marketing things. Now, he is an incredibly awesome asset. He's a great friend, a great support, and he works hard to help me and my family grow, right? Then I've got Yumi. Yumi is awesome. She worked with Russell, but she's now the new manager of both of our channels, right? She's great. She's awesome. She's very efficient. She's very on top of it. She does such a great job with SEO, making sure that my videos get seen, my channel gets seen. I get more subscribers because people know that it's out there. If they can't find it, they can't subscribe, right? So she does a great job of that. So I've begun hiring people to help me, right? And so now that stuff from top to bottom, that coming up with content, I got my boys helping me do that. I don't have to think of that all the time. Trying to, always be, on top of creating the content. Like, they come up with ideas and they also help me do it. So that takes a little bit of pressure off me. Then I work on my content. I've got investments. Again, they help me with investments. They got their own investments also, and they're learning a lot about how it works. Now, because I'm doing a lot of teaching along the way with them, as far as investments, they're not exactly absolving me of time in that respect, but they will one day, because one day they're gonna just, step up and be like, Dad, I got this. Hey, I could invest, I could do, you know what I mean? And who knows where that'll go, right? So even though I'm not really saving time because I'm actually teaching during the process, I'm not losing time either, and they're gaining more knowledge. And I'm gaining greater assets in our family business, in our overall potential for growth. When your family can continue to help one another grow. Like, there's a lot of mixed feelings about the Rockefellers, right? But this was something that the Rockefellers, it was a concrete thing, right? They had this living trust. If you don't know about it, it's one of the most brilliant things that they did that was generational wealth, right? Because what they did is they took out a life insurance policy. Every member of the family took out a life insurance policy. It was a huge life insurance policy, right? And they had this enormous trust that whenever their insurance policy was always to be paid to the trust, not to an heir. It was to pay to the trust. So they took out a huge life insurance policy if and when, but when you passed away, that inheritance would go right into the trust and the trust would just grow, right? But every member of the family while alive had the ability to borrow from the trust. Genius, man. Because they borrow from the trust, they grow their business, they invest in the business, they invest in the family, right? And then as they did this, when they passed, their insurance policy all went back into the trust. So then the next generation, they didn't get an inheritance, but the next generation couldn't borrow from the trust as long as their inheritance was left to the trust. It was just these huge, and they grew and grew and grew and grew, and all of them had so many children. It was just insane. It was massive generational wealth, massive. My boys, I invest in them for every possible reason. Mainly because I just love them so much. And I want my business to be big and good and strong and viable so that way they can have it. Now they can choose to do whatever they want. They can grow up and be a doctor, a lawyer, rocket scientist, I don't know. They can do whatever they want, and that's fine. I'm so happy that they think the way they do, and they think differently than I do. But the point is I'm investing in them, as heirs to the business, as well as my children, and as well as assets to me and our business. And on top of that, like I said, not everybody's got kids or husband, wife, cousin, brother, whatever. Some people it's just me. It's just me. I'm a single person. I'm all by myself. I don't have really any family that's living, whatever. You know what I mean? That's fine. It doesn't mean one day you won't have family. And like I said, doesn't mean you can't still have people outside the family who begin to work for you. You can have employees, you can have contract labor, you can have all these different things that ultimately can help you grow your business, and you are no longer bound or limited by the 24-hour day, because ultimately you hire one more person and now you don't have 24 hours. Now you have 48 hours of potential. Now both of y'all have to sleep, so let's decrease that. Let's say in a given day you got 20 hours, right? Because let's say 8 hours for sleep. Say reasonably any growing entrepreneur sleeps like 5 hours. But let's say 5 hours, 6 hours, and then those other 1 to 3 hours, that's just your time to eat and shower, go to the restroom, grab a snack, these different things like this, go pay a bill, things like that. So you've got roughly 20 hours a day. And let's say everybody's got that roughly 20 hours a day, right? With that 20 hours a day, you hire one more person, now you got 40 hours. And you hire one more person, you got 60. Hire another one, you got 80. You hire another one, you hire 4 people. Now all of a sudden you got 100 hours worth of potential in a day. Well, now you're like, well, I don't know if I can do all that. Well, maybe you don't need all that. But if you start with one, that frees up so much more of your time to do more things and better manage your time and your responsibilities, and better focus on what makes your business the most profit and how can you spend your time doing that, and get someone else to do some of the other stuff. And then just keep growing from there, because as your company continues to grow, then you'll have more money to pay people. You can get on, Fiverr, there's so many different websites. You can Google it and search, but you can literally hire people, online assistants to help you do things, simple things that ultimately you're going to give them straight instructions. You're going to give them instructions, do A, B, C, and D. That's what I need you to do. Do exactly that and do nothing different. You hire someone like that and you can pay them. Some of these websites, some of these countries, because you can outsource it to another country. And some people are like, oh, well, I don't want to be sending jobs to other countries. Dude, don't look at it like that. Look at the reality is you hire someone from another country who ultimately in their country, they're impoverished, they need money. You're helping someone who's hungry and needs money. And yeah, it's not an American, but at the same time, that person's still hungry. That person still needs a job and you're feeding them. And ultimately, they're feeding your business. And your business can grow and you'll pay them fractions. Like you can pay them like $5 an hour. Like literally I saw on one forum, I just saw this the other night. On one forum, they had people starting out at $3 an hour. $3 an hour. You could hire them full time for the month for like $460. Because in their country, that's money. In their country, that's money. In our country, that's not. In their country, it is. So you hire them. They help you grow your business. Then you're making more profit. And then you could turn around and hire yet another person, either from another country, so you can continue to grow your business, or you'll be able to hire someone that works right here, right here with you. Maybe you're going to grow your business to the point you're going to need a brick and mortar, and then you're going to start putting people to work in your brick and mortar shop right here down the road. I mean, that potential is there if you're willing to bend and be just a little flexible. People got these, they don't want to outsource. They want to control everything. Don't control, but don't do. You hire someone that you give instructions to, then you're still in control. You're in control. I have a YouTube manager and I have a marketing guy, and both of them do exactly every single thing I need. Every single thing I ask. I mean, Yumi, she'll make YouTube thumbnails and stuff and captions and little things like that. I tell her exactly what the caption is. I come up with a thumbnail. She does a little bit of the design, and then she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, you know what? That's good. That's great. Or you know what? Hey, do you mind just tweaking it just a little bit? Because I think the color just, whatever. And you know what? She's got me 100%. She 100% got my back. She works with me, and she works for me, and she helps make my channel grow. And at some point, I'm going to need to hire a third person. At some point, I'm going to be able to hire a fourth person. And this is where you want to be. You want to be outsourcing to the point that you hire one person, then you hire another, then you hire another, then you hire another. And at some point, you'll get to the point where you've got, people aren't making billions by having no staff. They're not. Elon Musk once said, he said, you know what? I never graduated from Harvard, but I employed people who did. Employed people who did. But that's it, man. Hire somebody who's going to help you. And that line, like I said, just figure out what it is you can afford, what it is you need. You get onto these search engine stuff and say, I need a digital assistant. I need some online help with, editing or website or whatever. You get on there and say what you need help with, and you can find, and it'll pop up a whole bunch of list of people. I can do this. This is my specialty. This is my background. This is my this. And they got all their credentials, all their information and everything there. And so you can look into it. And then they got their pay rate. It's like, hey, this is how much I'm asking for. This is what I can do. And this is what I want. So it's not like you're shortchanging them either, because you're paying them exactly what they're asking to be paid. Now, some people might get on there and try to haggle and negotiate and be like, hey, I could pay you, But the reality is, when you're hiring people from other countries, and I'm not saying to not hire people from here, I'm just saying that do what you need to do. And if you can afford to hire someone, if you got, somebody your buddy has an online business and he's got a great assistant. The assistant only works 15 hours a week, and he's like, man, I've never had a better one. Dude, she's just amazing. Or he just rocks, man. He's always on top. He catches all these details. She always sees these things that I didn't catch, and she always on top of, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, they only work 15 hours. You think they got room for another client? Because I could hire them to work like 15 hours for me. You know what I mean? And that's where, you know what I'm saying? So if you can do that, then great. But if you're not in a position to do that, if you're like, man, money's tight, man, I'm growing my business, hire outside. Hire outside. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel guilty about it. Remember, they're hungry. They're people too. We got people here who are hungry. We got people there who are hungry. We got people all over the world who are hungry. Don't feel some type of way that you're giving money to another country instead of your own country, because that's silliness. What you're doing is you're feeding. That money that you spend for them is going to generate more cash flow for you, which is going to go right into the economy right around you, man. You're helping stimulate your community. All right. I hope this helped, man. I really do. If you've got a friend who's got a business, you got a family member who's got a business, you got a friend or family who's trying to grow and investing, they're trying to develop this, that, or whatever. They got a side hustle. They're like looking for that side hustle to be a little bit more than what it is. Show them this video. Show them this video, share it with them, send the link out, because who knows who it might help. That's what my ultimate goal is, to help as many people as I possibly can. So if this might help somebody you might know, make sure they get it. This is YouTube. It's a free video. They lose nothing by watching this. And you lose nothing by sharing it. But if they miss it, All right. If y'all got comments below, if y'all got other ideas or thoughts that, let's open a dialogue, man. Let's get this conversation rolling. It's your boy. Be sure to like, subscribe, ding the bell, get your notification, because you don't want to miss any more that I got coming for you. It's your boy, and I'm out.